everybody, Stratty here, along with my very special guest, my husband, Lonbor. We're celebrating LOTRO's 15th anniversary, so come join us as we go down memory lane. Please note that in this video we are not sponsored at all by Standing Stone Games. We're just huge fans of the game and we're just showing our love and appreciation for it in this special video. So,
I have a question for you.
Okay.
So you've been playing LOTRO for the last 14 years, right?
Right. Well, I don't know, 14 or 15, give or take.
Okay.
I started playing around either right before the Mines of Moria expansion or right after it, so I don't remember exactly.
Okay. Can you describe what it was like to play the game back then?
Oh, there was a lot of differences to what LOTRO is like today. For example, leveling used to take a lot longer. There were a lot more fellowship, group questing, especially in the early areas like Lone Lands, which was actually quite fun and really challenging. LOTRO was a lot harder in general. And I remember that at level 35, was when you could first get your first mount, and it took like forever just running everywhere, like throughout troll shaws, etc. And there were a lot more players back then, obviously, because the game was newer at the time. But as far as the community goes, it's still the same, I feel like. So.
Okay. So, something about the game, you just said a few things, but something about the game made you want to play for so long. What was the appeal for you personally?
So the reason why I kept playing LOTRO on and off throughout these years is because, first of all, the story is probably one of the best stories that I've ever encountered in any MMORPG. It's just, what I love about the story is it's not one of those stories where you play a game based on a movie or a book where you just, encountering the same scenes from those books or movies, but with the story in LOTRO, you're doing behind the scenes work, and you're your own character that you create, and you're just nobody, but you go from being a nobody to a somebody in this world by doing somebody that's important, by doing these great heroic deeds and efforts to free the land of the evil that is coming out of Mordor, which is a huge theme in Tolkien's works.
I kind of like the fact that you could just, go with the flow and go with the epic quest line, but you can just do whatever you want. You can go anywhere, everywhere, be all over the place, just do whatever you want. It's like a world that you can explore.
Oh, and the world design in LOTRO is, oh my goodness, it's amazing. There's so many areas that they, are, it's just so huge, like so much open space. And actually the developers lately have been taking small areas inside of these big old areas and adding new content to them. Like recently there was in Breeland with the, I forget what it's called, with the traders and with Trestle Bridge, they're needing to rebuild the town, and so there's that area. And then there is Yondershire, which is coming out soon in the most recent update when the anniversary event is launched, which I'm looking forward to. And the amazing thing is that the world, there's like the very iconic areas that you can see in the game, like that you've seen in the films and the books, like Rivendell, the Shire, just all the little details they take. The game developers, they took from the books and that Tolkien wrote, all the little details that they could get, and they made it into this world. Or even like the little small areas that he briefly mentioned, and they fleshed this out into some great big expansive immersive world. Like, for example, Forakel up in the north with the snowy mountains and the bay. The developers, they got a lot of inspiration from going from Finland and those areas where Tolkien got his inspiration from, for those people with their language. So it's amazing. And also, what's another point about the story is that LOTRO, the developers, they have a lot of Tolkien lore experts, so they help with making sure that the story stays true to Tolkien's works, and they're not straying too far from the lore. I mean, there are some circumstances where they have gone a bit, like for example with the Runekeeper class, like some players will complain about, but for the most part, yeah. Immersive world music is amazing, especially by Chance Thomas, and the new music they have, the the Bells of Dale song. I love it.
Oh, Lotro has definitely been part of our relationship ever since we were dating. You keep mentioning it again and again and again, even to my friends, trying to persuade them eagerly to start playing. Kind of like you're selling me some. Anyways, so I was just wondering, why was this so important to you?
So, first of all, I didn't actually persuade you to play the game. Let me get that.
Did.
No, I did
you
not.
Did.
So, actually, I remember I came over here to study for my master's. I came over abroad. And when we were dating, I was just talking about, how much I love this game, but I actually never really tried to say, go play this game. Like, you have to play it. It's the best. You were just like, just from what you're saying, it sounds like a really fun game. I should try it out. So let's do this.
I've never played a role-playing game before. I was very hesitant. You were pushy.
I was not pushy, no.
You were pushy.
No. I did not do anything of the sort.
Okay, so why were you so pushy?
I don't know. I just love playing the game. I mean, it's an immersive world. I love the stories.
Why did you want me so badly?
I never wanted you so badly to play. You were just you were the one, if I remember right, you were the one who was like, no, like maybe it's a way we could bond closer together, and we can, by playing together and get closer and know you more. I don't know. That's what I remember when we were dating.
Well, the game was, at first it was a little difficult for me.
A little.
Playing a game like this for the first time ever. So, I do remember, gradually, it grew on me, and I even started to play on my own without her. Mm-hmm. At first, it was like hand in hand kind of a thing, like
maybe.
Yeah. What I mentioned earlier, the fact that it's like this whole world, it's a little escapism, kind of like going to this world that is immersive, and also you can do pretty much everything. You can talk to whoever, go wherever, try to fight off. I always enjoyed the challenge. Actually, I think try to fight off things that I would die repeatedly, and just try to see if I can beat this boss or something, and with a low-level character, and see if I can. I don't know.
And then you call in the wife for help because, she has a high-level character.
Because she was playing forever.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I started on a different server, and then they got rid of my old server because the population declined, so they merged servers. So I was originally on Elendil, which was the unofficial Oceanic server back then, so there were a lot of Australians on it. And over the time, the population declined, so LOTRO got rid of a lot of lesser populated servers, and unfortunately Elendil was one of them. So then fortunately they were nice enough where I could transfer all my old characters to another server, but I actually, when I came abroad to study, I actually went to a different server and completely started over with new characters and everything.
It wasn't just that. You enjoyed I remember you were like, I want to start a new character, and it was like this all the time. You started like with, I don't know, like 20 different characters or something.
No.
So I just have to ask, what was your favorite and why?
Okay. So the reason why I re-rolled a lot of characters is because, first of all, before LOTRO went free to play, it was because, like I said before, in the beginning, it was really hard and challenging. And you didn't get as many potions and things you do now, like with the Hobbit gifts and everything. But so back then, it was more about getting the Undying title for level 20, where you don't die at all until you hit 20. So I would reroll characters. Plus, I really enjoyed the starting areas, especially the Shire. So I just love it. It's very immersive. But and then once LOTRO went free to play, then I did a lot of characters to grind for LOTRO points and everything like that.
What was your favorite?
So my favorite class, oh god, this is a tricky one. So I originally played as a lore master on Elendilmere. That was my main elf lore master, and then now because actually we play on Laurelin now, which is the English UK role playing server. So now I play my main character is a burglar, hobbit burglar, and I really like the burglar class. The reason why I decided to choose that as my main was because it was the class that I least played back then, and it was actually really confusing class to play. But then with the class updates and everything, it made it much more fun and enjoyable to play. So I also do like playing a Runekeeper. Runekeepers are very fun, especially if you go yellow line. I feel like red line is getting better.
Okay, so you mentioned a few characters. Would you suggest that to new players? Like, one piece of advice you would have to for new players.
For new players, well, as far as what you're saying with the classes, really just go with whatever your playstyle is. Experiment, try a character out, see if you like it. You'll find what you like. As far as one piece of advice, I would say don't be afraid to ask the community for help. The LOTRO is probably like one of the best online role-playing game communities I've ever experienced. Everybody is so nice and friendly and helpful. So if you need help with like a really low-level instance that you think nobody would like help you because everybody's at in game, they're at max level. No, even like high level players, they'll help you out, we're just really cool like that and nice and friendly. So there's never one wrong question. It's those who don't answer questions that they won't get help. So.
Well, I actually have something else to say. My main is a hunter. And if I remember correctly back then, I asked you what character would you suggest, and you suggested a hunter.
Well, that's because, first of all, you have a free-to-play account, so that makes a difference.
So
with traveling.
Okay, there's traveling, right? That's a big plus, but also there's the fact that it's ranged, right?
Well, you prefer range, yes.
I feel like most would prefer that, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say Hunter is probably one of the most popular classes in the game, especially Wardens, which are now going to become free to play soon, with the next update coming in a few weeks, when LOTRO becomes free to play completely up to level 95, which is Helm's Deep. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay. Well, the new Amazon Rings of Power. Sorry, Rings of Power show will be released this fall. Do you feel like it's going to have an effect on the game, and how?
I think it will, and I hope it's a very positive effect. That there will be a lot of new players who will want to play and get themselves immersed in Middle Earth. And I mean, even though the new show is supposed to be set taking place during the Second Age, and this one it takes place during Lord of the Rings books in the Third Age. I still think that it'll get people wanting to get immersed in the Tolkien's world again and start playing. My only concern is that hopefully that there's enough marketing and advertising for LOTRO for new players to know about the game like there used to be on TV and such when it first came out. So if they have that in place, the developers, then I think they could do really well with getting high traffic. There was actually a lot of people who came back to play the game or new people playing the game during the lockdowns with the pandemic. Like I remember our server used to be like maybe 100 or a couple hundred non-anonymous players, and then during the pandemic you'd see like over 1,000 people on the server, and it was amazing. So hopefully with the new show it does something like that again. That'd be really exciting to see. So.
Well, one last special treat. We actually named our dog over one of the characters on LOTRO. You want to say something about that?
Okay, so when we came to adopt the dog, I was coming up with names, and I was like, so I gave him 3 names. And I was thinking of video game character names, and so the name that came to mind was in the Shire, in Hobbiton, there's a Hobbit lady, or lass, I guess you'd say, that it's actually a character that a lot of people don't like. But because I guess I'm kind of cynical that way.
Yeah.
But
she's annoying.
So there's
both the character and you.
Yeah, I know. So there's this character that she sends you to run these pies for her to other towns, and she's like, oh yes, like so you're like being helpful, and there's our dog right there, and so so you have to go run the pies for her, and then eventually after you do a few quests, she realizes, oh no, my batch of pies, the berries are spoiled. So then you have to go from like all these various towns in the Shire and bring back these pies to her, and you have to avoid the hungry hobbits. Like they're roaming, some of them are roaming the streets or the paths. So it's really fun. I like it. I actually like it because I think it's a very like fun role-playing type quests. A lot of people don't like it because it's like, oh no, I have to go all over the map of the Shire, So her name was Holly Hornblower, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. So we named our dog Holly after her. Hi, sweetie. So that was pretty exciting. Also, another fond memory that I have of us was when I had to go back to the States for a few months, because my student visa expired before we got married. And I remember I would get up in the morning and I would be playing LOTRO, and it would be your evening. You'd come home from work, and we would be playing together and having fun, and it was just like a nice way to because we were separated for a few months during this time, and it was just a nice way to be able to do something together and have fun and feel like we were there together. Plus I would answer your 50 million questions about what to do in the game. Oh, is this piece of armor, which one is better? Are these stats better than this one? So it's just
the foundation of every good relationship.
Yeah, the wife tells you what to do, basically. So, did you have any other fond memories of the game, like parts in the questing or anything you want to share?
Well, it's always fun to make fun of you, because I'm a hunter, so it's always. A hunter is one of those characters that everybody would like to have as a friend because they can take you places. It's like the friend with the car, is always available.
Oh yeah, people sometimes refer to hunters in World Chat as taxis. Like, can somebody taxi me to this place, please?
Yeah, so it's always fun to feel needed.
Yeah. Community in this game is great. Sometimes. Like, and there's also a lot of, especially on our server, because we're a role-playing server, so there's a lot of fun community events. Like, I remember, for example, that that was New Year's Eve, and on our there's like somebody that does a lot of events, Ranatar or Tor, however you pronounce her name, and he did a New Year's Eve event where like depending on where in the world it was, for every hour that it was there would be somebody's New Year's Day, like it changed. So we'd like meet at his house and we'd hang out and say Happy New Year to like the countries that just experienced their New Year. So it was really fun, and you can always find like a lot of different bands, especially at the Prancing Pony in front of it. Like, and during events you'll see like bands, like there might be like a battle of the bands because you can play instruments in the game. So like if you use the 1 through 9 keys, you can it has different notes, so people will like play music and such, and there's different instruments. It's really cool. And there's also like a lot of role-playing events. So one time I remember I was on my Bjorning, and I was questing through the Shire, and I went to the Green Dragon in Bywater, and there were like this like group of Hobbit players sitting there. Like some were sitting, and one was like speaking, like telling stories or something. And I felt like really out of place because I'm this big, burly Bjorning woman, and I'm like, I'm gonna go. See you, bye. So it's just a lot of fun what you can do with all the different emotes in the game and the festival items and such. So I just want to quickly give a thank you to everybody that's watching this video and going down memory lane with us. If you have any special memories of LOTRO that you've had during the years, please let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your stories and what you remember and just funny experiences playing with others or whatever. And also I want to give a huge special thank you to all the game developers, those that worked at customer service and quality assurance, just for all of your hard work and dedication on this game and all the details and effort that you've put into it. You can really tell with how much hard work you've done, and a lot of us players, we value your time and your lack of sleep for all the hard hours you put. So thank you for that. Did you have anything else you want to say?
No, just thank you for all your help over the years, and for
that was Holly sneezing.
And I had fun doing this video with you.
Yeah, and we hope to have many more years of LOTRO to keep going, so we can have more date nights together and fun times doing instances and questing. So here's to wishing you all for another, hopefully 15 more years plus. So, alright, thanks for watching, and have a great rest. Enjoy the festivities.